going on, guys? Shozaku here, and today I bring to you the long-awaited guide on the Dervish. A quick disclaimer though, I value time, mine and yours, and to that end, this guide will be dense and concise. The Dervish is honestly pretty simple. It's just that its relationship with physics is more akin to Johnny and Amber, so the shortest path to getting you into the air and being effective is to just skip most of the theory and just show you how to get started. And if that sounds like your cup of tea, then let's just dive into it, and I'll show you how to be the majestic dick waffle you've always wanted to be. Let's start with what the Dervish is and is not. It is not an ESF, a Liberator, and most certainly not your favorite plane from Battlefield or War Thunder. No, if you fly it like any of these, you're just gonna get farmed, honestly. I like to describe it as a two-man Valk with really big guns. In general, the Dervish performs best when its pilot and gunner work together as a single unit, rather than competing for kills and nonsense like that. Loadouts, the easiest thing to explain. Only use stealth and fire suppression. Top armor is worse than just being thin. You'll always be taking chip damage, and nothing can really one-shot you anyways. Weapons. Use whatever the hell you want, as long as it's not the Raycaster or the Pixie. Raycaster's a lie. Pixie can miss a stationary target. It's not worth it. Airframe. Use drift, unless rotor is necessary. It has its purpose. Just stay away from precision. It's like dogfighting airframe. It sounds fantastic until you realize you're useless and you can't move. So let's get you out there flying. Go ahead and spawn at a warp gate, pull a Dervish, fly outside the warp gate, and start flying circles around the warp gate like I'm doing here. Your goal is to maintain 300 to 315 kilometers an hour with little to no afterburn usage at all. This is easily one of the best warm-up exercises you can do. It breaks you out of flying flat, the worst thing you could do, and it opens your mind to building drift, as the warp gate is roughly the ideal curve radius for doing so. Any tighter or any straighter, and you'll begin losing speed quite rapidly. Now let's back this clip up and talk about one of the three pillars of Dervish flying, momentum economy. If your current speed is your pocket money, altitude is an investment that you can purchase, as you can see me doing right here. Afterburn fills in the gaps as your paycheck, if you will. In short, no pocket money, no investments, no paycheck, you're dead. Pillar number 2, priorities. You have 3 fundamental priorities: staying alive, giving your gunner angles, and then, and only then, your own nose gun angles. The first one's pretty obvious. If you're dead, you can't deal damage. It's kind of a no-brainer. The second one is also pretty simple. Your gunner has one job: shoot things. If they can't shoot things, you kind of have a pointless passenger at that point. Then, after all of that, worry about your nose gun. It is still important to use your nose gun, as the Dervish nose guns are quite terrifying and will put immense pressure on your opponent to avoid them. More of them dodging means less damage to you. Sadly, 1 in 3 just take practice reading your opponents. To powerful effect. Gunner angles, however, have 3 basic maneuvers that'll cover 90% of your situations. Number 1 is just descend. Kinda hard to get under something that descends faster than any ESF in the game. Number 2, if they get under you, just floor it. Get away from them. They can't stay underneath you if you're not sticking around. The third one, however, is a bit more difficult but even harder to explain, so let's wind the clip back and slow it down. Through subtle usage of descend, roll, and afterburn, I ensure the enemy does not stay directly behind me, as your gunner will have far more difficulty aiming over the back thruster than any other side of the aircraft. Never, under any circumstance, fly directly away from someone chasing you. Always try to side drift or anything else to avoid that ridiculously garbage back angle for your gunner. And remember, you and your gunner are a team. You will get substantially more kills by just giving your gunner a free angle. And finally, Pillar 3. The elephant in the room, how to aim. I could run down the list of tricks I use, aiming diagonally, to use pitch more, using yaw drift as a form of slow yaw, clairvoyance and future sight that I've gained by flying exclusively for over 2,000 hours. But even with this knowledge, it just takes practice. The most useful advice I can give you is find a way to have fun in the Dervish so that grinding up your skill isn't unbearable. And trust me, there are a lot of fun and asshole strats you can do without having to aim. And that about wraps things up. I know I didn't cover everything, especially the more advanced usages and manipulations of drift, but honestly, most of that is just overkill to learn right now, especially if you're not even sure if you want to fly the Majestic God Waffle. I do anticipate doing at least 1 or 2 more of these Dervish videos, so leave your questions and requests in the comments below. And really, just let me know if this helped you at all. YouTube is barely a hobby for me, so really, I'm just doing this for you guys. And yeah, thanks for watching, and don't let me catch you flying outside of Anu.